Hello, thieves. Give me a normal passport. Ours with a trident.
The redneck will believe it. Are you drinking or what? Seriously? Just a jerk. How long will you continue to send your children to us in Ukraine to kill people and send them to slaughter? For a long time?
I would go. I would have stood in Moscow for a long time, near the Ministry of Defense with a poster.
Right on target, yes?
Close. Close.
We do everything possible, what we can do. We're only ordinary people.
Nothing?
I didn't understand anything at all. I didn't understand anything at all.
God, you're also... Got it? My name is Vladimir. What's your name? In full, date of birth, everything.
Barinov Konstantin Viktorovich, born on February 25th, 1982, was born and raised in the city of Kazan. That's where I was born.
Do you voluntarily consent to the recording and publication of our video?
Yes.
Are you mobilized?
By contract.
What year did you sign the contract?
From May 5th this year.
What unit, troops, rank, position?
Rank, regular soldier, position, machine gunner, troops, in my opinion. I think.
Tell me, were you taken from the prison?
Yes.
What do these rings mean? Well, the rings on your fingers.
One, a prison sentence. One, hello to thieves. Well, if it's no longer there.
Understood. Why not?
Well, there was a swastika. I started to erase it and almost erased it.
When did you start erasing it?
Long time ago.
It's been a long time already. Why'd you get the tattoo?
I was young and fooling around.
Yep, got it. What was your motivation to go to fight in the Ukraine?
Amnesty. Restoration of reputation.
Is it okay to kill people for amnesty?
Well, I didn't kill anyone. That's how I fantasized on the way there, that I wouldn't kill anyone in time. That's what happened.
That's what ended up happening. And what happened? How did you get captured? How long did you actually fight?
Just to literally fight. One assault operation, where I was wounded, or rather in the opinion of the one who shot at me, I was killed. According to them, that's what happened. After that, for 3 days, being wounded and shell-shocked, I tried to crawl out to my people. I literally couldn't crawl out. I couldn't walk at that moment. And I didn't succeed. 3 days later, military men from Ukraine picked me up and I was taken prisoner.
Where was this?
I was in the Zaporozhye region, near the village of Zerabyanki.
What date, at least approximately?
The assault operation took place on June 21st. I was captured on June 24th.
That is, everything happened the way you imagined, right?
Yeah, I didn't have time to kill anyone. I received an injury that allowed me to continue living. Well, actually, I didn't think that I would end up here. Well, actually, the only thing I didn't think that would happen is that I'd get captured, and that's what happened.
What did you think? That you would be sent to the hospital?
But, I thought that I would receive these wounds while in my positions, but it turned out that it was an assault operation.
Do I understand correctly that you plan to get wounded in your positions and thus leave?
I didn't plan it. I fantasized in my head that such a situation would be quite good for me in this war. That is, I don't kill anyone, I get minor injuries, and that's the end of the war for me. And that would be the end for me. That was what I fantasized. Yeah, in an ideal situation. I thought that's what would happen.
That is, you need to understand, if you knew in advance what was happening here, would you come here again? Well, if we take you back to the moment when you signed the contract or whatever you signed.
To make it clear to you, any kind of murder is not compatible with my beliefs. This is contrary to what I hold in my beliefs. PMCs came to us twice and invited us to this war. I refused. Now I convinced myself, and that's why I dreamed of such a situation.
What? What PMC were you in?
I wasn't in a PMC. I am now in the Ministry of Defense.
What is the name of the battalion?
Storm Z.
Storm Z, I get it.
What kind of beliefs do you have?
Religious.
What religion are you?
Christian. Are you a committed Christian?
Yes.
Why were you in prison?
Previously, of course, yes, I wandered in the world and I served time for all sorts of violent, disgusting things. Basically, it's theft, mostly theft. The last conviction that was interrupted was for causing grievous bodily harm. But it was just self-defense, just the only thing.
I asked not to sort this out.
Got it.
This is just my personal interest, so to speak. So, you understand what it looks like, everything you say? A man was released from prison in order to come fight in Ukraine. He received a machine gun and participated in assault programs. And now this man says he did not plan to kill anyone, and this is against his beliefs. You know how this looks, right?
I won't kill anyone. I insist on this.
Do you understand what it looks like, though?
It may sound absurd, but nevertheless...
Well, do you think you'll be exchanged in the near future?
I would like to.
I would like to. Can we call one of your relatives? Can we do that? Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name is Vladimir. I'm a journalist. Do you want to chat? How's he related to you? Who is this person to you?
Brother.
Brother. Would you like to chat with your brother?
Yeah, sure.
Conversation on record and for publication. Do you hear?
Yeah, I heard you.
Take the phone in your hand and talk. Hi, Max. You're home, right?
Yes, I am. How are you doing? Everything is fine. How are you? I, Max, am a prisoner. Did you receive a message about this? I received a message from the International Red Cross and forwarded your letter.
Yes. They reported that you were in captivity.
So I sent it to you. Has anyone called you? Has anyone reached out to you? No, nothing like that happened. Okay, fine. There was no suspicious calls. Fine. How's your health? Well, I'm alive, Max, thank God. Well, I also look at you. The arms and the legs seem to be in place. Yeah, the hand is still there, but I don't know how much will retain its functions. I tried to call you from a simple mobile connection, but I couldn't do it. I thought maybe I switched to another number.
Maybe you switched to another number?
No, this is the number, but I was away. I was in Kursk for 10 days. I just returned to Kazan yesterday.
It's clear. You look unwell. Is everything normal with your health?
Everything is fine with my health. I just worked hard for a whole week. That's all. I see.
Is he going to take any measures to exchange you? That's the main question.
What measures can I take to speed up his release?
Call and write to all authorized bodies that you have, Ministry of Defense.
Well, first of all, contact the leadership of my regiment. This is the 503rd Regiment, based, in my opinion, somewhere in Ingushetia. But I can go to the military registration and enlistment office. I cannot indicate the location in my grandfather's village. I can go to the military registration and enlistment office and convey to them the information that I have, that you're in captivity, that you took part in hostilities as part of a certain brigade. That's it. I myself cannot do anything. I can act through some organizations.
That's right.
Have you been drafted into the armed forces, or have you joined the PMC? No, it's the Ministry of Defense. So they deny it. They claim that the Ministry of Defense did not recruit military personnel from prisons. When I went to the military registration and enlistment office, they told me that if he was a prisoner, then he definitely ended up in a PMC. and they basically cannot provide any information because they had some problems there at that time. So they can't give any information.
Oh, I see.
Having heard this information from you, I'll go to the military registration and enlistment office and ask a question. What's going on there? Why don't they know why they're calling people from and where they're calling them from? I will inform you of that you're in captivity and what actions they're going to take. I'll ask them. That is, my task is only to run around the authorities and ask them to do something. That's all I can do in this position. Well, that would probably be great. I just don't know myself.
Firstly, this video will be on my channel. As a rule, Russian relatives take this video and take them to the military registration enlistment office. Did you hear that?
Yes, yes. This video on your phone can't be recorded?
Well, if he records, please let him record it. Maybe you can record me up now so that there's direct confirmation that I'm alive, in case they say that I'm missing or dead, but I'm actually here, I'm in captivity.
I need some kind of channel address where this video can be picked up later.
Let me tell you.
She'll let you know.
This means that my last name is Zolkin. Zolkin and my channel is called the same. If you enter interviews with Russian prisoners, then most likely my channel will be shown to you. And on the same channel, there will be a video with your brother. And in fact, it's very unclear how this happens, that in fact they're recruiting military personnel, but they say they're not.
Yes, this is not very clear to me either.
Are you planning to go to War II soon?
No, I don't plan to. I have a wife and children.
But you don't plan just in case, right? And another question, if your brother is nevertheless returned in exchange, that we take the best option. And another question, if your brother after all is returned to the exchange, and when they return him, they said that they called him to fight and would send him to fight again a second time. What do you think about it? What will your actions or his actions be? How do you generally feel about this?
Well, how I react is not so important. What matters is how he reacts to it. In general, will they send it? And will it be returned to be resent?
Look, let them return it first, then we'll watch. Whether he'll be returned or not will be returned entirely at all, whether you believe it or not, depends on you. Because from his other relatives...
I'm getting ready now, going to the military registration office, providing them with all this information. What can I do? Please advise if you have information.
Firstly, you need to look at who specifically deals with the issue there, exchange issues, and call the Ministry of Defense in the military registration enlistment office at the lowest level. It can die. The more you call and harass them, the more motivated they'll be to put it on the trade list in the first place. The sooner they will take him away and give our men in his place. This is our goal too, and the purpose of this video. Like this, here you go, you finish. You have 1 more minute, and we'll continue further. Afterwards.
Well, Max, thank you. Oh, well, you're welcome. It's good that you're alive. I was very happy about the news. There's information that I was killed in the assault. Remember, I sent you a message before the assault. I sent that message, remember? Your friend wrote to me that a tank fired at you, and that's it. Yeah? And they couldn't get you out of the battlefield. Do you remember your friend's name? The phone number Dennis was signed.
Dennis, great. On the
22nd, he sent me a message that Kostya died during the assault. If you still have the number, contact him and tell him that I'm alive and not to steal anything from my bank card.
I think he's already stolen.
That's not what you're worrying about right now, Kostya. You have the wrong worries. Well, I'll tell him. I'll let him know that you're alive, so the command of your regiment will immediately know. Yes. I think this is the shortest way. Yes, Max. Max, we don't have it. if he's alive, your Dennis, he's not also in some other incomprehensible situations, then I'll contact and let him know. Let's see what they'll do now that they have the latest information. Let's see what they'll do. Fine. Thank you. Okay.
Well, that's enough. There's no time. There's still a lot of you out there. Give it to me. Your brother thinks quite adequately, I want to say.
I know, he's quite a wise man, I think. I think so.
Yeah. What do you think about that? That you might be sent back to fight? Your hand is already healed by then, although they usually don't give a damn about it. If they say, go again, well, what would you do? What would you do?
I'll be forced to obey, but I never had the desire to kill and never will. Killing is unacceptable to me, so I didn't kill anyone. That's why they killed me, as my brother just said. Have you heard? Dennis wrote the day after the assault, and he said that I died. They declared me dead.
I'm already describing to you what your statements look like from the outside.
Yes, this is quite absurd. I don't argue.
Therefore, it's hard for me to believe you in this now. In fact, this is not the goal.
Certainly.
The main thing for me is that you're taking Russia as quickly as possible, and Russia simply needs to take you away immediately, because you have already immediately given your consent to re-participate in hostilities. That's why you are for them. I don't want to say offensive words. I don't want to say anything bad.
In fact, for Russia, this is the Storm Z group. Just targets on which shells will be spent, I think so. That's all. And that's all it is. Nothing more.
I just wanted to say that they're like mincemeat or meat. Essentially, you said the same thing, only in different words.
Yeah.
Well, you are not ready to become mincemeat again. Well, you'll have to. Your country is like this. What can you do? What can you do? It seems that the Ministry of Defense is recruiting prisoners, but it does not seem to be recruiting.
Yeah.
Everything is somehow strange. There's no definite standard.
Yes. Unfortunately, it is so. I was born and raised there.
You know everything better.
How should I deal with this? Not that I know better. How should I deal with this? What is destined to happen cannot be avoided. It happened that I was born and raised there. This is the side. There are some strange things all around. Nothing is clear.
Do they tell you the truth on TV? What do you think about what's happening now?
I read the truth between the words.
So what's the truth? Well, if we don't take your version that you wanted freedom and clearing of your reputation and biography, what if we take an ideological approach? Are you also influenced by means of propaganda? They say that you're going to fight with the Nazis, with NATO, with someone else. Which of these do you believe? You still believe?
I have a friend who was born in the Soviet Union and lived in Crimea. And accordingly, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, he remained to live in Crimea, but in Ukraine.
So?
Well, he told it like it really was. And how does it really exist in Ukraine?
What was he saying?
Everything is the opposite of what is propagated to us on TV.
So he lived well in Ukraine?
When the new order came into being, he was given a passport as a Russian citizen on the territory of the Russian Federation. Crimea had already become Russian, and he was in prison in the Russian Federation. Crimea became Russian at that time, and he was forcibly given this passport. He said, "Give me a normal passport, ours, with a trident." That's what he asked for.
Crimea did not become Russian. It will definitely return to its native harbor.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
Yes.
I'm not a fortune teller, I can't say.
If Russia had decided that Kherson was Russian, it documented this, and it returned to its native harbor. So you will get everything else back, and that's okay. Your propagandists will figure out how to justify this. They will say that this is a planned retreat. They will say that it was beneficial for Russia to retreat. The redneck will believe it.
Well, that's how it will be.
However, I cannot know the future. What can you say to the Russian viewers?
I would like to ask that they exchange me as quickly as possible. Please, I want to go home. After all, I was born and raised there. Whatever it is, this is my homeland.
I see.
Okay, so say hello to your father and that's it. Okay, bye-bye, Mom.
Okay, bye. Come on, son, hold on.
Bye, I understand.
Bye, son.
Bye.
Bye. Come on.
Is this a joke? Are these jokes? Hold it. Is this you?
Well, I mean, this is what I drew back then.
So what is it then? Is it Photoshop?
No, why? I don't know. I don't remember this. It was a long time ago, maybe even before the army.
This is a photo on social media in the public domain. This inscription indicates that you're from the airborne troops.
Well,
Yeah, I served. Do you have a tattoo that says you're a paratrooper?
I served in the military service and went into civilian life.
Clear. So you're not an ideological military man. You just served your military service.
Yes, served compulsory military service upon conscription.
Understood. Address the audience. Address your fellow countrymen. Tell them, is it worth going to war in Ukraine or not? Tell them.
There's no need to go to war. There's no need to mobilize and go to Ukraine.
Understood. Call the next one. Sostkov. Sostkov Artur Evgenevich. Date of birth 12/28/1976.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Russia, Bryansk region.
Bryansk region. Have you been mobilized or did you sign the contract yourself?
Contract.
You signed the contract yourself.
Yeah.
What for?
Why?
Well, why?
I wanted to go.
Did you want to fight?
Yes.
And for what?
For what? For the sake of world peace.
Huh?
So that there's peace in the world.
Have you come to fight for world peace?
Well, I've never been to war before, and when I went, I stayed only 10 days.
And was wounded. That's how I understood it. You have never been to war. When you went, you only stayed for 10 days. I asked something else. You say that you went to fight for the sake of world peace. How is that possible?
I was in prison.
In prison.
I left prison.
Are you from Storm Z? Prisoner assault squad?
No, they wanted...
Do you have prison sentence?
Yes, but I'm not from Storm Z.
Yeah, how long was your sentence?
8 years.
8 years. How long did you serve?
3 years.
Would you go back to war again after what you experienced?
No.
And if you knew in advance where you were going and what the real deal was like, would you go?
No.
Why?
Don't know. I didn't expect the war to be like this. I've never fought. But when I saw all this,
How did you imagine the war? What should it be like?
which, well, definitely not as this.
How is this possible? Did you think that everything should be like in the movies?
This is not how I imagined it. I thought the war would be more like World War II.
Well, yes, like in the films about the Second World War.
Now the war is different. You don't even understand where they're shooting from.
So you thought it was like in the movies, battalions of soldiers attack each other, almost marching.
Well, maybe, yes.
And they shout for Stalin. Is this how you imagined it?
Probably so.
Yeah. So in the war you imagined, there's no less chance of dying in such an open battle?
Yes, but I was lucky to be alive, and many died.
Fine, why didn't the Ukrainians please you? What harm have we done to you?
Nothing. I even have Ukrainian friends who live in Russia.
Ukrainian friends.
I have no prejudices towards any nationality.
Well, you went to war against us. Tell me honestly, for what and why did you go to war?
To reduce prison term.
Yes. I didn't want to say it myself, but it's obvious.
Yes.
You wanted to reduce your prison sentence.
Yes.
You wanted to clear your bio.
Yes, that's true.
And money?
Money's not that important.
Doesn't matter, but...
You can earn money if you have arms and legs.
Yes, this is understandable. But were you promised a good combat salary?
There was a salary and that was it. No bonuses or other money. There was only a salary.
Well, what was your salary?
It was somewhere between 195 or 194,000 rubles per month.
It's clear, around 200,000.
Yes.
I see. Why were you given a prison sentence?
Well, Article 126, theft and extortion of money.
Theft and extortion?
Kidnapping and extortion of money.
Kidnapping and extortion. Are you really kidnapping someone?
No. What's such a criminal act?
Did the police fabricate the case?
The article is called Kidnapping and Extortion, but in fact, I didn't kidnap anyone.
Well, I see. We're not here to discuss your crimes. Okay, then. So you decided to go to war. What happened after that? What happened after?
We arrived and spent 2 days preparing, and then we went to the training ground every day. About 10 days later, they gave us a task and said that we were ready for anything. Yes, 10 days after our arrival, we were sent to the front line. They said that we should gain a foothold in one trench. It was an empty trench. It was completely empty. And they said that we'll gain a hold in that trench. We entered, and 2 minutes later, they started firing at us from mortars. I was wounded and woke up in a field in Kharkov Field Hospital. That's where I ended up when I woke up.
You completely missed the episode of being captured. Completely missed.
Because I don't remember anything. They took me away and I thought I was dead. I woke up already in the hospital. It was the Ukrainians who took me there, not ours.
What happened before that?
Shelling.
Shelling.
Mortar fire. The front two fell. The guys died. And then there was another explosion and I lost consciousness. Completely. I was gone.
Right on target, yeah?
Next to me, and through this, my whole face was injured. And here I am, wounded. Others died, but you survived? I saw 2 dead. I don't know what happened to the others.
When was this?
I can't tell you exactly, either May 28 or 9. May. And we just arrived on the 12th of May. Only 10 days have passed. Well, let's say 2 weeks maximum. And after that, I woke up and I realized I was in the hospital.
You've been in captivity for 3 months already?
No. How long? Not 3. It turns out to be only 2 months.
June, July.
Yes.
Well, that's right. So that's right. What's your opinion on all this now, this war? To be honest, I didn't understand anything at all. Nothing. I was surprised I was even alive. But no, I'm not talking about that.
In general, what can I say? Everyone told me about Nazism, but I didn't see a single Nazi. That is, these nationalists, I did not see.
Have you seen a nationalist? I'm a nationalist.
What is nationalism?
This is a love for your country, love for your people.
Well, is it just about love without any action?
How is this possible without action?
No, a nationalist, as they explained to me, a nationalist, for example, you're a Ukrainian and you're doing it so that other nationalities should not live on the territory of Ukraine except Ukrainians.
Some kind of an incorrect definition of nationalist. There's many nationalities living in our country and always lived.
So I was born in Georgia. At least 5 nationalities live in Georgia. No one infringes on anyone,
Well,
they explained to me that nationalists are against other nationalities.
But this, of course, is nonsense.
Because there are many nationalities in Ukraine. And Georgians, and Azerbaijanians, and Jews, lots of nationalities. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, many countries appeared in which many nationalities lived. Right?
I don't know why Russia invades all countries, to Georgia, to Abkhazia, to South Ossetia, to Transnistria, Chechnya also.
Wait,
By the way, do you know that Chechnya wanted to live separately on its own? Why didn't Russia give them this opportunity? Russia really loves separatism, so Chechnya wanted to separate from Russia. 1 million people lived in Chechnya, and Chechnya won the first Chechen War. Can you imagine the balance of power? 1 million Chechens against all of Russia. In Chechnya, probably children and women fought too. Even the women, everyone fought in Chechnya.
well, I mean, I don't know. This is big politics, and I don't want to get involved in it.
Okay. Chechnya and Moldova. Transnistria.
I don't even know. I can talk about Georgia because I grew up there.
What about Georgia?
I was born there.
Let's talk about Georgia. Tell us about Georgia. In 2008, why did Russia invade Georgia?
When was the army brought in?
Well, yes.
When did the Georgians start bombing our peacekeepers?
Well, you've got nonsense in your head.
But why? Even the Georgians, when they understood what was really happening there, admitted that I was right. They admitted it.
So, well, do you think that Sarkozy, the president of Georgia, just started bombing someone in 2008?
I don't know, but does war just happen?
I'm not that familiar with this Georgian conflict, but they shot at those who invaded Georgia, you know? Nobody just shoots like that. That's not how it works.
Maybe.
So you're saying that there were Russian peacekeepers there in Georgia?
Not in Georgia, but in Ossetia. In Ossetia,
And Ossetia is also Georgia. Ossetia is also Georgia, and here's the question. What did the Russian peacekeepers forget in Ossetia that is in Georgia?
don't know.
Well, this is a different country. What did they forget there? What were they doing there? Did you protect someone? Then take everyone who wants your protection to Russia? You've already had enough of everyone. You interfere in all countries, saying that you're protecting someone. Russia allows itself too much. You're trying to protect everyone, but you yourself live poorly. What a kind country. It tries to protect everyone.
Well, we need to go home.
Now you've come to protect Ukraine? So what's the problem? The fact is that until you came to defend Donbass in 2014, this region was one of the richest in Ukraine. People lived very well here.
This is the area where the mines are?
Yes, Donetsk and Lugansk with the surrounding territories were the richest regions in Ukraine. People lived there and were happy. But when Russia came to defend, people have lived there in poverty and war from 2014 to 2024 to this day. To this day, they live in poverty. The occupation that began in 2014 intensified in 2022. And there in Donbass, all hell broke loose. Do you want to see what happened to the cities of Donbass? Have you seen it? Let me show it to you. Let me show you now. This is what the city of Bakhmut looks like now. This is a city in the Donetsk region. Good visibility.
Oh, all destroyed.
All destroyed. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I have no words at all. I can't say anything good. Everything is destroyed. Everything is destroyed.
There's also Mariupol, a larger city. It was prosperous. I went there a week before the Russian invasion. I even have a video of how good it was there, but how Mariupol is gone. And this drone flies and actually takes pictures. And there are many such cities destroyed. They look exactly the same as Bakhmut. So what did you come to defend? What did the residents of these cities themselves
Don't understand.
Why did you come? Whom to protect? Who did you protect? We don't understand.
Have people even left these cities?
How will they live there?
Don't know.
Some defenders.